All right, welcome back. So, you want to glue your model down. Well, that's great. First thing you need to do is go back and find the instructions. So, the first step is the body and the head, there's the head. Okay, the body and the head, real easy, and then the arms go back together. Simple. So first thing we're going to do is the body has two pins, and they're really hard to get to. And so in my other video, if you watch the Warden, what I usually like to do, and it's you got to be careful. You got to go easy and make sure you're using a new sharp X-Acto blade. These things aren't, $80 a piece. So if it starts to get to where you're cutting and it's taking pressure to cut, swap out a blade. Just get a new one, because that's when you really can hurt yourself. And if you have been using a really dull knife, I mean, these things are never dull. But when you switch out to a new knife, pay real close attention, because your hand is going to want to put more pressure than that brand new X-Acto blade needs. And that's when it's really dangerous. I know I've done that a couple times where, this is back in the old metal miniature days when you were switching these out, all the time. You get a new blade in there, man, those things are way sharper than what you're used to. So what I usually like to do is just cut these pegs down to make them shorter. You don't need like a whole bunch, and take little bits off there at a time. And this one I know is really hard to get to. So I usually just like to make these pins a little shorter. It's a little bit of a trick. And to also, I don't know what that's called, but you just take like a little piece off. So cut it to make it shorter, and then cut it to like lesser the volume, I guess, down. That's going into the socket, so that there's place for the glue to go. And this plastic glue, like I've said before, I don't know if you've watched the Warden video, but I'll repeat. The glue literally melts the plastic, and so it kind of helps if you do have just a little bit of extra space for that glue to get melted. And so that's why I shorten the nub and then just kind of like take the heel off, so that it does have that little extra room. So that's the two that are going to go into the body, and I'm also getting the arms as well right now. And this one is pretty long, so you don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, because you do need it there. It makes it a lot easier to glue in. And then cut, I'm going to say cut the heel. And that's what I mean by cut the heel. So now you're going to have pins that are going to go in here, glue those down, and you can also glue like around here, around the body, because what that'll do is that'll help hide the seams. So you get some glue in there. When you push them together and hold them for that 10 seconds or so, it's going to melt, and the seam should really just disappear. It's awesome stuff. So, but for right now, get some glue on these pitons around here, around the neck. And remember, don't forget to put the head in. And there's a little nub there, and there's a little nub on his head. So you know that's where his head goes. These are, it's just going to go right there. So get a little glue in there, and in there, and in there, and then push everything together. There's nothing to cut off of the head. You're going to want to keep all that on there. So Your glues, like I said, this is really my favorite. It's really hard to find. I got to get it off of eBay. So, not eBay, Amazon. So it's a little hard, but this is some of the stuff that I found in our local hobby store. Plastruct, Plastic Weld. It's pretty much the same thing. I like this applier because it's smaller. This one has a huge, like, fingernail polish applier, and it's kind of a pain, especially when you're working with little guys like this. But it works the same, works just as good, does the same thing, melts it down, and I have had no problems with this. It's just a little hard to use. So like I said, that's a pretty big applicator. You just put some on there, get some on those welds, those side welds, like I said. A little more. There we go. There, that's better. Oh, I forget the head. Get some in there. Some in there. I usually don't put anything inside. I might just touch it up a little, get it in there a little bit. And you've got a few seconds to work with this, so you don't have to worry about it drying out. It's much easier to put the head in first on the back. And then line that front piece up using nubs. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. And then push, squeeze real hard, and hold it. All right, so you've been holding that down for a good 10-second count, and he's solid. Now we've got some of the accessories to go back on, the sword and the backpack. So real quick and careful, like, we're gonna just shorten that nib down a bit. And then a little bit off the heel. There we go, blow off that, and let's see, backpack guy here. Just shorten it a little bit. Remember the two thin coats thought? You know, take little slices off, and a little bit of the heel, like that. I'm gonna put the backpack on first. Some there on the nib and around the base and the flat part. Just slop some down there. And like I said, you got a few seconds to work this, so you don't have to panic. And then press it on. And it's always important to make sure that jump pack is on straight. You don't want to have it cocked one way or the other. So you got to kind of just eyeball it. It's like a little off, a little. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. And then the sword will just slide in there. All right. So what I usually do is just a little bit there, a little there. That should do it. And what will happen is when you push this in, the glue will probably kind of well up, and that's all right. I'll just hold it in there a little better for you. Kind of give it a little wiggle. It feels locked in. You can always take a look at the finished model, you know, to make sure you're getting the placement of everything in there right. You can look at the instructions, or like there's a picture of the finished model to know if you're getting things in the right place. And all that's left really are just the arms. Already got the arm pitons, the nubs already trimmed down. So it's just getting the right arm in the right place. Doing a little quick test fit. Oh, should I put the arm in before? No. Okay. We're good. That happens. Sometimes the order of things is very important. Just kind of stick a little down there. Push fit models and the multi-pose models sometimes are a little different. And you'll want to put a little extra glue on the multi-pose model to make sure it gets locked in there. Give it a little wiggle. Make sure there's a lot of contact with the glue. There we go. Kind of once again, kind of take a look at it. Make sure the arm looks right. It's not too far up, too far down. So that looks like very nice, very nice. And then the little tilting plate, blast plate, fiddly bit. Again, just a little off the top. And then get the heel. Little dab of glue. There's a little divot in there. I'm going to drop a little glue in there. And real careful, like. Boom. Once again, kind of check the. Oh, see, there, it wasn't in. There we go. Sometimes just a little wiggle, and you find that it's a better place to seat it. Kind of appears. It looks real good there. And like I said, the left arm will not glue the shield on, but I will prep it for the shield. Because I will be painting this guy. And I definitely do not want that shield blocking like 60, 70% of the fig. See, because put that shield on there, and it's just going to be a pain. I mean, it's already kind of a pain where it is right now. The pommel and the sword is all kind of in the wrong place. So just little 1-2 swipe on there, and we'll just kind of lay in a little bit around and on the edge to help seat it. Just push it in, kind of. It's a weird. Oh, come on! It just went on perfect. No. Yeah, see, the push fit is it's a good thing. Oh, good grief. There we go. Just go straight in. All right. Hold it there. Give it a little wiggle. It does clear the pommel. And why you want to definitely hold these in with the push fit is because sometimes, because of all that surface, I don't know, no, it didn't. Sometimes, like when you let go, you'll see the piece move because maybe you didn't cut enough off of that piton to give it room. But I notice with the push fit stuff, that happens a lot because of that. With the multi-pose kits, that usually doesn't happen, but you definitely want to hold it. Give it a good 10, 15 seconds to make sure that it sets in there right. Because see, I did that. Yeah, see, I didn't do that on the right arm, and it's pushed itself out. So do yourself a favor. Hold on to it. Alrighty. That has been held on. And we'll just keep just push it on there for now. So that when you paint, if you want to paint, you'll be able to take it off and you'll be able to get into all these recesses and the shield itself, really. Alrighty, so there you go. There's Mr. Lieutenant. Just slap him on his base and you're ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll be back. We have some warriors to put together and assault marines, which I've never put together so far. And that'll be up next. Talk to you guys later. See ya.